Hey guys. Okay, so this video is going to be something a little personal. As you know, a lot more. Because a lot of people do not know how I first got into pro wrestling. And it's a bit of a story. And in the story, you're going to learn, I'm going to share a little bit about myself, why pro wrestling, wrestling just means so much to me. When I was younger, both my parents, to their credit, both worked hard to make sure me, and my siblings had, what we needed, food, house, clothes, my parents, quite frankly, to this day, I will always say they're the best parents in the world. I will never, ever say I had a horrible childhood. I will never say that my parents weren't always there for me. Because if I ever say that, I'm lying and someone should slap me if I ever say that, because it's a lie. My parents were always there for me, no matter what. But because they worked so much, when I was younger, they would leave me in the day with family members. One family member was my cousin Gloria. She's like my second cousin. She's my mom's first cousin, and I would stay with her. The other lady who helped raise me, was one of my dad's sisters, my Aunt Nancy. Aunt Nancy was a huge wrestling fan. Tragically, she passed away. I think it was, might have been, 96, 97, something like that. She died from cancer. I still miss her to this day. Even talking about her right now, I'm getting a little misty-eyed, so forgive me. But, soak it back in. Aunt Nancy was a huge wrestling fan. She took me to my very first wrestling event ever. I had pulled up to make sure I had the results right and everything, so I can remember. But it was Survivor Series 1994. When it was here in San Antonio, Texas. My Aunt Nancy took me, and I think it was a few of my cousins were there too, to this show. The only thing, I don't remember much about the night because I was so young, but the one thing I do remember was the Undertaker and Yokozuna's entrances, respectively. I remember that being the first time I ever saw The Undertaker, because I remember thinking, this is the scariest individual I will ever see in my life. Yes, when I was a kid, The Undertaker terrified me. To prove this point of how scary this is, my sister used to be able to do the eyes rolling back your head thing, and she would scare me to death with that, because she would just like stop moving and just do she would just stop moving. Guys, I was like 4, okay? It terrified me. I didn't know what to do. I was confused. Anywho, but yeah, that was my very first memory of wrestling. It's cause she, she just, wanted to take me, and that's the kind of things that, she had. She just like treated me like her kid, she took me places, she spoiled me rotten. If you think I can tell you guys, I am a spoiled person. I'm a spoiled brat. And she is one of the main reasons, because if anything I wanted, if I couldn't convince my parents to give me, I would just like kind of make sure Aunt Nancy saw it, and 9 times out of 10 I either get it right then or I get it later. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm so spoiled today. Anyway, and this is me getting emotional again. When my Aunt Nancy died, so did a lot of things I thought were fun once. She took me to wrestling shows, and then she wasn't here anymore. I lost interest in wrestling. I was one of the people who's like, oh, it's not, and you guys gonna find this hard to believe. I was one of the people who said, oh, it's not real. It's all fake. There's nothing real about it. I was one of those people who said that. For all you guys watching right now who've known me for a long time and know how big into wrestling I am, to know that I ever said that at all in my life must be shocking. But it's true. I once said that. It was a weird period in my life, because now that I look back on it, I can't believe I ever said that. But when she passed away, a lot of things changed for me. A lot of things changed. To this day, I still miss her. It's like, when I graduated from high school and college, I always wish she was there to see it. But anyway, some friends of mine in high school convinced me to want to watch wrestling again. It's been they knew why I wasn't watching, but they said, get back into it. It's pretty cool. It's good, And 2003, I got back into wrestling. 2003, it was right around May or June. I remember because the first pay-per-view I ever saw was the first pay-per-view I ever ordered was Bad Blood 2003. The main event was Kevin Nash and Triple H for the World Heavyweight title inside Hell in a Cell. A lot of people don't think that highly of that Hell in a Cell match. I didn't think it was as terrible as everybody else thinks it was, but you know, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, one reason why I still love wrestling is also almost the same reason why I didn't watch it so much. Didn't watch it at all between when my aunt Nancy died to 2003. Is because it is so much fun. It is so great. I mean, everyone who puts wrestling down, you know, clearly has never been to a show, or they've never been to a good show. I mean, how can you not have fun when you're encouraged to scream at these guys as loud as you possibly can? And to the wrestlers, you know, guys who I know, guys who I, you know, yell out, guys who I, you know, clap for, guys who I boo. I respect every last one of you. You guys should know I have that I respect you. And I want you to know that right now. Some of my biggest targets, listen, I'm just going to name some guys. Joey Spector, Andy Dalton, you know, even Gary J. You know, I'll get ridiculed for this later, and I don't care. Yeah, I respect you guys. The guys I cheer all the time. You know, Ray Rowe, Jax Dane, Hernandez. I know saying a lot of these names together is also gonna get me yelled at, but you know, whatever. I don't care. It's my video. It's my YouTube channel. But yeah, I respect you guys. Guys who I haven't seen yet. If you have enough guts to put on the boots or the gear, whatever gear you have on, and get in that ring, I respect you. To the promotions and the promoters, I respect you. RCW, ACW, BOW. You know, and even the bigger name promotions, WWE, you know, TNA, ROH. I respect all you guys. I respect wrestlers. I respect the promoters. I respect the refs. I respect the camera guys. I respect the people who set up the ring, the guys who break down the ring. I respect the people who do the concessions. I respect wrestling. I respect pro wrestling. And I guess that's the real point for this video, to say this. I respect pro wrestling. Because a lot of these guys, and for those of you out there who think wrestlers are just a bunch of, you know, meatheads who can't do anything else with their lives, you could not be more wrong. I know a lot of these wrestlers, and I know that a lot of them have or are getting degrees. They can do anything they want with their lives, but this is what they choose to do. And at the very least, they deserve respect. And that's why, you know, that's why I go to shows, man. Whether I boo them or whether I cheer for them, I respect them. I respect pro wrestling. Always have. Even when I didn't, you know, okay, I can't say always have, because there was a time when I didn't. And so I'll admit that. I didn't always. But now I realize what it's really all about. So now I always will. Pro wrestling, even if I always didn't. From now on, I always will. You guys, this is T2, Tommy Angel. See you guys later. Peace.